Welcome to Solo Shot First, and today we're just going to be going back in time, I suppose, a little bit, and having a look at the Queen Amidala from Star Wars: The Phantom Menace. Now, this is the re-released card. I do actually have the original one, which obviously, yes, it's VC84, but I think it was from maybe 2011, 2012. Not 100% sure on that, but what we'll do is we will have a look at the comparison between the two. I do know the articulation on this figure is very, very limited. I only picked this up quite simply because I got this again actually as a bit of an offer. It wasn't a case of needing to sort of get this figure, but I thought I'd just do a quick comparison with the old one as well. So in terms of the card back, it is a nice looking card, this. I know, like Phantom Menace and maybe even Queen Amidala, have not necessarily been everybody's cup of tea. I think the film certainly has grown on me over the years. The image used here is obviously sort of pulled straight from the film. That is, it looks like a still from the film. And then obviously you've got the Kenner logo in the bottom right there as you look at it. The warning hazard or choking hazard in the top right, and the 4+ age group obviously in the left-hand corner. So it comes obviously with on that the Queen Amidala is on the red name pill, which works very, very nicely, and the red background, which does actually make her stand out quite well, considering obviously that she's wearing those sort of black or dark grey robes, whatever you want to call them. So quite a nice looking front to the card. Let's have a quick look at the back. Okay, so I said this VC84. You've got the lovely Star Wars racetrack vintage collection. I'm not going to go through those other figures that are part of this wave. If you want to have a look at those, you can just sort of pause the video and look at those in a little more detail, because I'm sure I've covered most of those, possibly in different videos. But at the end of the day, I've already got this figure, loose. It was just doing a comparison. So let's have a quick look at the front of the card. Okay, so VC84. Queen Amidala will get this figure out of the packaging and have a look at it. Okay, so here we've got the figure out of the packaging. There's not too much to report in terms of articulation on this figure, quite simply just because of the nature of it and the gown that she's wearing. But I think the main difference is, or why I picked this one up, is it's meant to have that sort of photo real, if you like, head sculpt. And I've got to say, it does bear a little bit more of a resemblance to Natalie Portman than the previous one. But in terms of the actual garments, it is a nice looking figure. If you look at it from the side, and I know that sounds silly because you've got such limited articulation, but the gown obviously is all, this bottom part is all, everything on this is sort of pretty much hard goods. And the one I would say that the weird thing is when you look at that figure, obviously you've got that sort of flap on the arm, which is obviously just from the fact that you've got the garment is meant to be like that, with the hands in there. So getting this figure into any sort of pose is going to look a bit weird if you're doing that, when you've got this massive hard piece that sort of sticks out. However, at the end of the day, that's not the point of this. She is the sort of the queen of Naboo, if you like. You don't really, certainly in those gowns, you don't really sort of see the character in any sort of fight scenes or anything like that. So, all in all, it's an okay figure. I mean, as I said, I've got this one because I managed to pick it up cheap. But let's bring it in. Let's bring in the previous VC84. So just so you can pop them side by side and a comparison. So the one on the left is the newer head sculpt, this one here. And I hope you can see that in the video. I do think there's a vast improvement there. I know, again, you've got all that makeup on, so people can argue, is it worth it? I said I only picked this up because, quite simply, I got this as a really cheap deal. But yeah, there's definitely an improvement with that photo reel. So that is quite a nice touch, I suppose, really. Other than that, there doesn't really appear to be any major differences in terms of the garments and even the colouring on the garments at all. They're pretty much identical. Well, they are identical, I would say. It is literally just that improved head sculpt. So we'll move that one out of the way. Just pop that one back. In terms of the accessories that you do get with the figure, it does come with her sort of Naboo blaster, I suppose, if you want to call it that. Just a light silver with the brown handle, which is quite nice. But you're not really going to, as I said, probably pose this figure with any weapon in hand at the end of the day. You know, that's her in a royal gown, and that's, you probably would have her standing if you're putting her in a diorama or whatever. So, you know, all in all, not massive in terms of improvements, but definitely improved head sculpt. So anyway, VC84. As it was just a quick video, as I said, because it was just a comparison, just so you can see. But we'll pop that back one in, just so you can see, for make up your own minds. I definitely think the new one on the left looks better. Anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you do, please hit the like button. If you want to subscribe, there'll be more videos coming shortly. If you've got any questions or want to leave any comments, please do, and I'll come back to you as soon as possible. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.